Welcome to Chapter and Concept, where we deconstruct the architecture of ideas one page at a time. This is the final installment of our architecture series on the Enneagram. So, today we're wrapping things up with Type 9, the Peacemaker. And it's fitting because the 9 sits right at the very top of the Enneagram, kind of holding the whole thing in balance and offering this really unique perspective on the entire system. So let's get into why the 9 is so often considered the prototype. You could even say it's the spine of the Enneagram, where all the other types seem to branch out from. Yeah, this image really helps you picture it, right? To its left, you have the types that are a bit more antisocial or withdrawn. And to its right, you have the more social, outward-facing types. And there's the 9 sitting right in the middle, just balancing out these two powerful energies. All right, now let's dive into the core conflict that really defines the Type 9 personality. It's this delicate, constant dance between trying to keep peace out in the world and trying to hold on to it inside. So what really drives a 9? At their very core, it's this deep, deep desire to just have a state of inner calm and external harmony. They just want everything and everyone to be okay. And you know, that desire for peace, it's really fueled by a profound fear of conflict, of disconnection. They will go to absolutely incredible lengths to avoid anything that feels like it might break relationships or just shatter that inner sense of tranquility. So how do they do it? How do 9s keep that harmony? Well, they've got a specific strategy. They become these amazing mediators, able to see all sides of an argument. But here's the catch. This often comes at a price. They can get so focused on everyone else's world that they totally neglect their own, sometimes forgetting what they themselves actually want or need. Now let's unpack the central passion of the 9, which is sloth. And it's really not what you probably think. This has nothing to do with being lazy on the couch, not at all. It's more of a spiritual and psychological forgetfulness. It's this tendency to kind of numb out, to forget their own desires, their own anger, their own point of view, all in an effort to keep their inner world calm and totally undisturbed. Okay, but what does that actually look like in real life, day to day? What does it feel like to be inside that tendency to fall asleep to yourself? Well, it can show up in a few key ways. For one, you might see them merging with what other people want, so much so that they can't even tell what their own needs are anymore. To keep things peaceful, they might become super indecisive, or maybe overly dependent on what others want to do. And this often leads to numbing behaviors, or literally just checking out of life, anything to avoid a conflict and just stay in that comfortable, quiet place. Okay, so this is really the key takeaway here. The path to growth for a 9 isn't about finding more peace. It's about fundamentally changing how they relate to it. The whole journey for the 9 is about moving from the trap of passively withdrawing from life over to the path of actively engaging with their own inner stillness. It's the difference between just numbing out and being intentionally present, right? Between forgetting who you are and actually reclaiming your own voice. So the big move here, the specific path, is to engage stillness. What this means is being intentional about their inner calm instead of just using it as an escape route to opt out of life. The real goal is to reconnect with their own body, with their gut instincts, the very things they so often ignore. This is it. This is the key. Withdrawing isn't enough. Active participation is what animates their inner world. It's all about showing up for themselves. When they do this, it energizes their core instincts and helps them get back in touch with what they genuinely need to take care of and protect themselves, instead of just fading into the background of everyone else's life. All right, so now that we have a handle on the 9's journey, let's pull the camera back and look at the whole shebang. Let's see how this type fits into the entire Enneagram as this complete, integrated system. And this is just so important to remember. The whole point of the Enneagram isn't to slap a label on yourself and call it a day. It's about understanding our unconscious patterns so we can grow beyond them and become more of who we're meant to be. And this just lays it all out so beautifully, doesn't it? Each one of these 9 types represents a fundamental human striving, a different road to wholeness. You've got the 1's search for excellence, the 4's discovery of identity, and the 9's desire for peacefulness. Every single type is a crucial piece of the puzzle. When we look at all 9 paths together, we don't just see 9 separate, disconnected people. We see the architecture of a single, complete soul. The truth is, We all have all 9 of these energies inside of us, and the real journey is about learning how to integrate them all. That brings this chapter and our review of the 9 Enneagram types to an end. Thank you for joining us at Chapter and Concept. Join us for the next episode as we continue building the architecture of ideas. Don't forget to subscribe to stay within the foundation.